Have you ever just felt completely wiped out from trying to manage everything and everyone around you? Well, today we are going to talk about a super simple two-word theory that promises to give you back all of that wasted energy. It's called the let them theory, and honestly, it might just change everything for you.
I mean, really think about it for a second. We are constantly trying to steer things that are just completely out of our hands. We try to manage other people's expectations. We try to solve problems that aren't even ours to solve. And let's be real, we end up acting like the director of everyone else's life, and it is absolutely exhausting.
You know the drill. You bend over backwards, hoping your boss won't be disappointed. You make yourself smaller, hoping your family will finally stop judging your life choices. But here's the thing. It is a battle you will never, ever win. So how do you stop fighting it?
Well, the secret, funnily enough, was revealed to author Mel Robbins during one of the most stressful events any parent can go through, high school prom night. So let's set the scene, because it's a good one.
Okay, so her son, Oakley, decides he's going to prom at the absolute last minute. We're talking a mad dash for a tux, shoes, even finding a date. It is just pure chaos. But the real drama? That starts on the way out the door.
So Oakley is adamant that his date does not want a corsage. But Mel, trying to be helpful and, let's face it, trying to kind of control the situation, she brings one anyway. And of course, the date is already wearing a beautiful one she made herself. Awkward.
And then there's the dinner plan, or the lack of one. It starts pouring rain, and this group of 20 kids in fancy outfits decides their best plan is to just cram into a tiny little taco place with maybe 4 tables. To any parent, this sounds like a complete and utter disaster.
So Mel's mom instinct kicks right in. She whips out her phone, she's frantically searching for a reservation at a proper restaurant, trying to solve what she sees as this huge problem. She's trying to rescue them from their own perfectly fine, if a little chaotic, teenage plans.
And that is the moment it all changed. Her daughter, Kendall, grabs her arm and says these simple but totally life-altering words. "Mom, let them. It's their prom, it's not yours."
And just like that, out of a moment of parental panic, the let them theory was born. And look, it's a simple phrase, but it represents this massive fundamental shift in how you see the world and where you decide to place your power.
Okay, so what is it, really? At its core, the let them theory is about recognizing something that's simple but also so profound. You cannot control what other people think, what they do, or how they feel. The only thing you truly have power over is yourself, your own reactions, your choices, and your boundaries.
I want you to think of it like a seesaw. When you pour all of your energy and focus onto their side, their drama, their opinions, their choices, it completely throws you off balance. It just weighs you down. But the second you shift that focus back to your side, you get your balance, your stability, and your control back. And the framework for this could not be any easier. It's literally a 2-step process. Step 1 is let them. That's the part where you release control. And step 2 is let me, and that is where you take all of your power back.
Okay, so that's the theory. Sounds great, right? But how does it actually work when life gets messy and complicated? Let's walk through a few real-life scenarios to see it in action.
Oh yeah, we have all been here. You're at that family gathering, and you can just feel the judgment in the air about your career or your relationship or why you're still single. The old you would probably argue, get defensive, and leave feeling totally stressed out. But the new you?
You just let them. Let them have their opinions. You can't control what they think anyway, so why try? It's such a release. You free yourself from this heavy burden of needing them to approve of you. But it doesn't just stop there.
Or what about this one? You want to start a new side hustle, maybe launch a new business, but you are terrified of what your friends and followers are going to think. You're completely paralyzed by that fear of judgment.
Okay, so the theory asks you to face that fear head on. Let them think you're a show-off. Let them think you're gonna fail. Let them think you're a complete phony. You just give them permission to think whatever they want to think, and then you pivot.
Let me focus on my goals. Let me take the steps that are going to help me succeed. See what happens? You take all of that energy you were wasting on worrying and you reinvest it directly into yourself. This is the power shift. Oof, this one hurts. You see the pictures pop up on social media, that fun trip or dinner you weren't invited to, and that immediate reaction is just rejection, right? Insecurity, that familiar downward spiral of, why wasn't I included?
So first, you let them. They are allowed to have friendships and make plans that don't always include you. That's okay. Then, you pivot to let me. Let me take responsibility for my own social life. Let me be the one who reaches out and makes the plans. It turns that passive hurt into proactive power.
And this all leads us to the most profound, most important part of this entire theory. It's really about stepping into a brand new phase of your life, one where you are firmly and unapologetically in the driver's seat.
Here is the single most important thing to remember. Let them is the key that unlocks the door, but let me is you bravely walking right through it. It's the active part, the creative part, the empowering part, where you start building the life you actually want instead of the one you think everyone else expects from you.
And listen, this isn't about being selfish, it's about being responsible for your own fulfillment. Let me pursue my dreams. Let me set boundaries that protect my peace. Let me create a life that makes me proud. You know, when you start operating from this place, it really doesn't matter what anyone else thinks.
Ultimately, when you stop wasting all that precious energy trying to manage other people and you start investing it back into yourself, the possibilities really do become endless. So, I'll just leave you with this question. Now that you have the key, what are you going to build?